When you're ready to grow in your career, a learning goal can help you point towards a skill that strengthens your work and opens up new possibilities. The key is choosing something meaningful, one skill that fits naturally into what you already do and expands what you're able to take on next. A well-chosen learning goal doesn't just add something extra to your toolkit, it reshapes how you contribute, solve problems, and work with others. That process starts with understanding where a skill can make the most difference. Instead of scanning a long list of trending abilities or choosing whatever seems impressive, it helps to look inward at the work already on your plate. Most people have a few moments in their week where they think, if I knew this, my job would be easier, faster, or more effective. Those moments are signals. They show you where a strong skill can create the kind of leverage that multiplies the impact of the work you're already doing. You can find even more clues by looking at the people who are 1 or 2 steps ahead of you in the roles that you admire. Pay attention to what they do that gives them the extra edge. Maybe they pull data for themselves instead of waiting for a report. Or they're a person who can take a complex situation and turn it into a clear plan. They could lead discussions where people actually come to decisions. Those abilities aren't accidental. They are skills that have compounding value, skills that let someone contribute at a higher level even before their title changes. Once you've identified a few possibilities, it helps to think about your environment. A skill becomes far more powerful when your organization is moving in a direction that creates space for it. Perhaps your company is adopting new tools, maybe your team is handling more cross-functional work, or leadership is focusing on a specific capability like data literacy or process improvement. These shifts create natural opportunities to learn something you can use right away. When your interests align with a real organizational need, your learning becomes immediately relevant. From there, the goal is to narrow your focus to one specific capability for the next 6 to 12 months. Just one skill with a clear definition, something you can name, practice, and demonstrate to other people. A precise focus accelerates growth and it makes your progress easier for others to notice. Once you've chosen your skill, the next phase is building it with intention. It's easy to think of a skill building as consuming content like watching videos, buying books, and collecting resources. Those steps matter, but they're just the beginning. Foundational learning gives you your starting point. It helps you understand the language, the concepts, and the frameworks that shape the skill. This part doesn't have to take long. A few focus weeks is often enough to give you the foundation that you need. After that, practice becomes the center of your growth. The fastest way to develop a skill is to use it in the context of your real work. If you're learning a technical skill, try applying it to a task you already do. Even if the result isn't perfect at first. If you're developing communication or facilitation skills, offer to lead a conversation the next time your team needs one. If you're improving your ability to analyze information, start with a small question you've been wondering about and explore it. Each time you use the skill, you're turning abstract knowledge into something practical and usable. As you practice, feedback becomes essential. It keeps you aligned, helps you avoid blind spots, and ensures you're not reinforcing habits that hold you back. Feedback doesn't have to be formal or time-consuming. It can be a short conversation with a colleague who's strong in this area or a quick review from someone who uses this skill regularly. The key is making your question specific. Is there anything in this analysis that's unclear? Or what would strengthen the way I structured this? Specific input leads to specific growth. As your skill deepens, the final piece is letting the results speak for themselves. You don't need to broadcast everything you're learning, but it's helpful to keep a record of the outcomes your new capability supports. This could be a process that improves. Perhaps your team makes better decisions after a meeting you facilitated. Maybe a small automation saves time every month. These examples show how your learning is turning into value for your team, projects, and organization. When the time feels right, you can bring these examples into a conversation with your manager. Explain how the skill has shaped your work and the outcomes it's influenced. These aren't updates about a course you completed. They're stories of how your capabilities have changed what you can do and how that change is showing up in the work your team cares about. A learning goal becomes meaningful when it creates momentum, when it strengthens your day-to-day work and nudges you towards the responsibilities you want next. It's not about mastering everything, it's about choosing one skill that matters and growing it with steady attention. Over 6 to 12 months, that focused effort can reshape your confidence and the kinds of opportunities that come your way. You don't need a long list of goals to advance your career. You need one skill that fits where you are and where you're going, and the commitment to build it in a way that becomes part of how you work every day.